profile. Is it hair that you just want to wear for that night or a wedding, or you want to wear it and take it out at night? That's that's the occasional wear. If you want something around the clock that you want to keep in your head for 3 or 4 months and then change it out, that's the everyday wear. So that's kind of where you start. And when you click into either one of those profiles, it explains to you what it is. And then you go, okay, that's kind of where I'm at, right? That's what I need, because I either want it every day or I want it just to take it out every day as well. So there's 2 facets to that.
Interesting. So what's your projection in terms of growth?
In terms of growth, well, by year 3, we're projected to be about $14 million. Now, that is a very conservative projection, simply because now we've added so many maintenance and hair loss products that are formulaic and proprietary to us, and that opens up an even bigger market. But we're in the process right now of fundraising another round that, as you know, is to help us scale a lot faster and a lot quicker.
Correct. Now, did you start the business 1 or 2 years ago?
Yes, we were doing business to, B2B out of our apartments, really. We've been in the hair business since about 2012, 2013, but just as a side hustle, as, Leslie's a nurse, I was on Wall Street, and we were just doing it as a side business. But we launched Lux Beauty Club about a year and a half ago, yes.
Interesting. Now, what's the range cost of a hair extension?
Our gross margins are anywhere between 50 to 80% gross on every transaction. But the human hair starts at about $139.99 for the tape-in extensions 1 pack. The sew-ins start about $99, and that's the sew-in that lasts, that's sewn into your own hair, and it lasts about 3 to 4 months as well.
So are you your own mentor, or you have someone or some team that are really helping you or guiding you?
Oh, Lord, no, I'm not my own mentor. I wouldn't be where I was if I was my own mentor. I've managed to have a lot of amazing mentors along the way for every type of thing, right? I mean, there's some people that I don't think they were even looking to have a mentee, but, I stalked them. I made them go to coffee with me and just pick their brain. Anyone that's really built a business and scaled a successful business, I want to talk to and I want to be friends with, because I want to know more of how their secret sauce, how they got there, because we don't know everything, and you're not going to know everything. We've made so many mistakes along the way that it'd be great to just kind of have a sounding board it's been mentors from my old job, mentors from, some of my investors, a mentor at a fund. It's just kind of been all across the board. Yeah,
it is interesting what you're saying, to talk openly to people that you kind of trust, or that they know better than you in different areas or areas that you don't control so well. Because some entrepreneurs or people that want to become an entrepreneur, they want to keep it all secret. They don't want to talk to anybody because they say, no, if I talk, they're going to steal my idea. What do you think about that?
Someone asked me the other day, too, what do you think about if, barriers to entry to the hair extension market? What if somebody decided, all of a sudden I want to start a company like it? I thought, have at it. Good luck. Because it is a good luck. If you can do it, more power to you, because I know it's taken us a very long time to perfect it. And it's very difficult to get people you trust in the supply chain. It's the Wild West out there, especially in India, and especially China as well. So it definitely, you need that mentorship around you. You want to promote it. You want to talk about it. And if you're the best at it, no one's going to be able to steal that.
So you can share your idea with the people that you need in order to improve or to become better, more knowledgeable about your field, correct?
Exactly, because even, for example, our magnet hair extension, that's literally 2 pieces of magnet between your hair, and we got that idea from the magnet eyelashes. And we filed a patent on that. It's patent pending, but who's to say that someone's going to copy us? And as long as we have the patent and the date of when we file the patent, you can then send a cease and desist letter or anything like that. But you can't keep anything secret. You want the world to know in order to really drive sales and drive brand awareness.
Yeah, and I always say that, well, if they don't know it before, they will know it later, and they will compete with you anyways.
Absolutely, and competition is good.
Competition is good. Now, I have another question about it. It sounds like you are going in the right track. What do you think is the secret or your best quality or the best quality to get to the point where you are at this point?
Well, you definitely have to have thick skin. You're going to hear a lot of no, and you have to keep going. It really is made up of a lot of different failures to get to those big successes. It's incredible. It's a lot of ups and downs. Some days are great, some days are awful, but that's, I always say you have to be a bit of a psycho to be an entrepreneur.
Right. Yeah. Where is that resilience coming from,
Yeah, you have to be a little crazy.
Crazy. That's what they say, actually. If you are an entrepreneur, means that you are totally crazy. You're nuts.
Completely crazy.
That's very interesting. Very inspiring also. So, okay. So now you mentioned the word failure. Is there any failure in your experience through this process of the Lux Beauty Club that was important in the development? Like, wow, this was the experience or the changing point, the turning point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've hired people that we thought were going to be great and ended up just falling flat and had to get rid of them. We, truthfully did a small entry into retail, which ended up being okay for us. Although we beat the competition on the shelves, it's very difficult to be a small business brand and really get into thousands of doors. I would never do it again unless I was under the umbrella of, say, a L'Oreal or a Unilever, which we hope to buy us in 5 years. But it's retail. We thought we could handle it, but there's a lot of issues in retail, and it definitely is broken.
Absolutely, it's tough. Now, are you successful already?
Are we successful? Well, that means a lot of things, right? I mean, successful, are we hitting our projections? Sure. Do we want to sell our company? That, to me, would be the ultimate litmus test for success, that we've built it and we did it. It's a great model. Success means, we have customers, we perfected our supply chain, people are excited for us. And I think we're successful, absolutely. And I know we're successful and we're on the right track. Do we want to just blow it out of the water and be the next, Warby Parker for hair extensions? Absolutely. I have a very big bar for my tall bar for myself.
That's awesome. Otherwise, why to worry? I mean, go back to work for somebody else.
Exactly. I think that, success and money is interchangeable, but as I mentioned, success and money equals freedom and the freedom to buy great things and buy that nice fancy shiny car, but it's freedom to provide for your family and to really promote other Latinas and just do good in your community.
So you mentioned Latinas. Do you have any activity related to promoting Latina entrepreneurs? Yeah,
I really like to get on the Latina entrepreneur circuit and just talk about how if I can do it, surely anyone else can do it. I think that there's a lot of, less than 2% of venture capital goes to brown and black founded companies. That needs to change. And I think that the conversation is getting better around that, funding diverse founders such as myself. But I think that when we talk about diversity in tech, what does that mean? And that means that white women get funded first, and then black men get funded, and then black women get funded, and then we're last.
Right. And that starts
that dialogue.
Yeah, and that starts probably because most of the venture capitalists are men.
Yeah, white men. Yeah.
White men, which makes it more difficult.
They don't understand it. I mean, I think now they're just starting to go, I want to get into beauty because there's been so many great hits in the beauty startup space, and they've sold for so much, high valuations. But, for example, I pitched a group of 40 white men and one woman at an investor meeting a few months ago, and I managed to get only the woman to invest in us because the men just did not understand it.
Didn't resonate with them, yeah?
Yeah, and it didn't resonate, and they actually made a joke about why would anybody want this.
Interesting.
I thought, okay,
yeah.
you're not going to be an investor in Lux Beauty Club next.
So, what could you be your best advice for other young entrepreneurs?
Oh, that's always a great question because it's so multifaceted. You're going to want to give up. You're going to want to give up. There's so many times that you want to throw your hands up and say, I can't do this anymore. You're going to cry. You're going to ask, for validation from people, but you have to keep going because it's a long game. And it's really about who stays the long game, longevity in it. And that's who's going to win in the end.
What's the secret to stay in the game for you?
Yeah, the secret is having thick skin and hearing no. I would say no is my middle name. I mean, I hear no every day from investors. No, we can't do that. No, it can't be done. And I manage to still power through it.
Interesting. How many of those you got?
Refusals,
it took
me,
declines.
I have a spreadsheet of investors that I've talked to and I keep track of, and it took me 130 meetings to get my first yes. And that's actually good. I was talking to another female founder, and it took her 320. So
wow. So 130 no. You got 130 no's, and then you got the yes.
Yes, my first yes, and then it started getting a little bit easier after that, and now we're just going back to do it all over again.
Interesting. So relentless. You are relentless.
You have to be relentless, and it's funny because sometimes your friends, because your friends that are really close to you don't really get it, but they'll say almost like a backhanded comment about, wow, you really don't give up. And you think, what, am I supposed to?
Yeah.
You're not, this is what you do. This is what you signed up for, and you have to keep going.
Interesting. Now, I had a question about the brand. Why the word club in Lux Beauty Club?
Lux Beauty Club really we wanted it to be a community of women that all have the same issues. We're multicultural because the hair really comes from the same place. It's just texturized differently. But we all have the same issue, whether they're white, black, Latina. We all want better hair. We all experience thinning hair. So I think that, it came from that place of wanting to create a community for women.
Interesting.
To feel comfortable in discussing their hair issues.
Now I got a question, kind of a conceptual question. Who is a person or figure beyond your family or relatives that you admire the most in the world? Maybe he or she is still alive or not.
And this is, other than family or relatives?
Yes.
I was thinking about this earlier, and for me, it would definitely be Warren Buffett.
Interesting. So he's alive and kicking.
Yes, he's alive and kicking, we hope, for a while longer. But I like Warren because he's kept it real this whole time. He stayed true to his values. He's not pretentious. I think that he's just kind of what we all should aspire to. And I think that another flip side of that is if I ever got to meet him, obviously I would ask for the most obvious of stock tips, right? But then I would obviously ask him to become an investor.
Of course. I mean, how could you miss that opportunity? Yeah. So do you have a habit that you consider fundamental in your personal growth and that it helps you to deal with the pressure of your daily life?
Yes, that is another really good question. I think that I always love, I can't remember, I think Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank had a quote that he said, if you want work-life balance, don't start a business. And that's very, very true because in the early days, it's 24/7 and there's a lot of push-pull and it's stressful every day. But I think that just as we're coming out of that cloud, mental and physical well-being it should be number one, very important. I think every Friday, my husband and I sit down with my daughter. We have Family Friday. We try to focus on us. As the other days, I'm just a loca running 24/7. So we definitely try to focus on good well-being and mental stability.
So to keep a balance between family life and business life.
Yes, I mean it's very hard and it's very tough because I'm